Joining us now is Mark Ellwood, host of Travel Genius. Mark, great to have you on this morning. Let's start with the overall numbers. More than 47 million people traveled this weekend, many of them by road. What does this tell you about Americans' appetite to get back out there and travel?
I mean, I think it tells us what we already knew, which is, gosh, doesn't everyone need a vacation? The pent-up, the pent-up need just to get out there. I also think what it shows us is that people are kind of dipping a toe in the vacation waters. They got used to driving rather than flying during the pandemic. And as the pandemic sort of loosens its grip on us, they're staying with the car. It's much more comfortable. And bear in mind, flight prices are at 90% of what they were pre-pandemic. So you're not getting any flight bargains right now, which I think also kept people in the car.
You're not really getting any bargains, though, because gas prices are relatively high and only expected to get higher as the summer continues. Do you think that may deter people, or just everyone's just so sick of being home that they don't care?
What do you think, Jill? I think you answered your own question, right? The whole point here is Americans saved trillions of dollars during the pandemic. There is money to be spent, and I think they want to spend a lot of it on those vacations they didn't take for a year or so. You're not seeing luxury hotels domestically. I'm seeing prices that are 30 to 40% higher than 2019, which was a banner year for the travel industry. Everything is expensive, but people are basically saying, we don't care, we've got to have a vacation.
You know, we were seeing during the pandemic, Airbnb really surging because people felt a lot safer there. You just mentioned luxury hotels. Curious what's going on in terms of the hotel industry versus the Airbnb types where you can rent a house. Are you seeing people flocking back to regular hotels?
That's a great question. Airbnb and VRBO and all of them are still doing really well. We are seeing people wanting to stay at hotels, but hotels have a problem. They can't get the staff. There's been a surge in hiring, but most resort properties, which is what you deal with this summer, rely on a J3 visa. They rely on bringing in workers from overseas. That's not been very easy this year. And they're really struggling to get staff. And I think people also are finding that their hotel experience isn't necessarily up to par, and that is pushing them back a little bit to Airbnb. But I think there's really interesting tension there.
That's really fascinating. And what a shame for the hotel industry, which took such a hit for the past year. I wanted to just talk about air travel a bit. 2.2 million passengers screened at U.S. airports Friday. That is more than 2 million, and more than 2 million, screened yesterday as well. That is the most since March of 2020. Are we basically saying air travel is back at this point?
I think we're saying air travel is kind of back, or air travel is back with an asterisk, okay? Because we're seeing a big disparity between domestic air travel and international air travel. Domestically, flights are 77% full. That's what the Airlines for America trade body said recently. We're seeing domestic routes really picking up. That's not true internationally. They're really still very, very slender. There are border closures, there are problems. So you're seeing a very lopsided rebound in air travel. If you go through an airport at the moment, even a busy airport like JFK, which I've traveled through many times in the last few months, it's still not completely at capacity. There are plenty of stores and restaurants that aren't open. So it doesn't feel completely like a pre-pandemic experience at all.
That's so fascinating. What is your take on business travel? Do you think it's ever going to hit that level that we saw pre-pandemic?
Do you know, everyone who works for an airline in revenue management is on their knees praying that it will, because that is the key to profits. I think, and I don't know about you, but if I get one more invitation to a Zoom meeting that I don't have to attend, I just want to throw my computer at the wall. And I think we underestimate how much people will want to maybe take not as many business trips, but definitely some. So I think the airlines are very hopeful. Do I think we'll see 2019 levels of scooting over to Europe for a quick meeting? probably not for the next 2 or 3 years.
Really interesting. All right. Well, it's still relatively the start of summer. So any advice for people who are planning trips right now?
Look, I would say get on there, book, because you're not going to get a bargain if you wait. Just make sure you read the fine print and do buy travel insurance. It's never been more important than ever to have a little bit of backup, because say, you need your flight gets canceled, you have a problem with a hotel, or you have a medical reason you need to postpone the trip. You've got to have that insurance. It costs about the same as a coffee from Starbucks a day. So please buy the insurance.
And where are the hottest spots that people are going to this summer?
Oh, look, airlines are adding more flights to Greece than you could imagine. I'm going to Greece on Thursday, and I feel so unoriginal. Greece was one of the earliest destinations to open up. People said, great, I can go there. So you'll see a big thing of Greece. Italy is also open, and I think you'll see a big surge to the Mediterranean.
Greece and Italy. Oh my gosh, that sounds wonderful right now. I can dream, at least on my end. Thank you so much for coming on. Really
Pleasure.
appreciate it. Mark Ellwood, appreciate it.